What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy Atticus. It has been forever. It's been an age. How we all doing? So I'm back on ladder. Getting ready to go on fall break with school, and I decided to do a little ranked. It's been a while since I've played some, so I did 3 games and I've won all 3. So as of right now, I'm 3-0. So I did come across this guy, Lord Maximus. And maybe he's a nice guy, I don't know, but he did one of the cardinal sins, something that really bothers me, and that is starting the game as soon as, it loads up, not giving us a minute to pick our armies. So, I took it kind of personal, and I really wanted to beat him. Plus, he's a pretty high-level, pretty talented opponent. So, as you guys can see, of course, the druchii, always reliable. And for my build, I had a hunch, him going Tomb Kings, that he would go large, and thankfully, that hunch was correct. As you guys can see here, that he has brought a lot of Ushopti. So let's go ahead and start with my army, see what we have here. So for my front line, guys, this is a build that I've used in the past. It's pretty good versus Tomb Kings. What you do is you take Blackguard, is your front line mixed in with Witch Elves in the back, and the reason you do this is Blackguard can pretty much trade through anything the Tomb Kings can throw at you, infantry wise and large wise. So if he brings skeletons, even Tomb Guard you'll be able to hold decently with, but any shaft, is that the word, or any of these lesser units they'll chew through, and then they'll also be able to deal with the anti-large threat. For the Tomb Guard and units like that, what you do is you bring Witch Elves, and since Tomb Guard aren't that heavily armored, the Witch Elves will do fine. And the idea is the Witch Elves will also rampage any units. So say he tries to come in with his what is this thing called here? The Sphinx. The Witch Elves can lock it down and allow my Blackguard to do the job. So yeah, as you guys can see here, we have 3 units of Blackguard supported by 2 different Witch Elves. On the sides to deal with any skeleton warriors or anything he had on, we just brought a couple bleak swords, also just to pad out our numbers. For my Lord choice, I brought a Death Hag, and she has the minus, I think, 6 melee, so she's going to help the Blackguard trade more effectively with the shaft units so they can get to those large. My actual Lord, though, is a Dreadlord sword and crossbow, and the reason I did this was just to have that armor-piercing missiles. I want to be able to, just be focusing his Lord the whole time. And I also brought him, on a Cold One mount, and this way, if it does come down to melee, he'd have that armor-piercing and be able to deal with it. He'd have brought somebody like Citra. Also, in supporting of the Dreadlord, as you guys can see here, I did bring his talent that gives plus 20 armor-piercing. Let's see what it's called here. Yeah, the Volley of Dark Arrow. No, that's not it. Excuse me. The Guiding Eye, and this gives you plus 20 armor-piercing missile damage to allies in its range, and this is really good with a Dreadlord. Often I'll use this up on a Pegasus with the, what are they called, the Dark Riders, the Pegasus Dark Repeater crossbows, the ones that fly, and just use them as a mobile sniping, force. With that bonus, it really does chip away at, constructs and lords and cavalry. So yeah, I have 1 unit of Dark Riders with my Lord just to get that bonus. I also do have the Helibroni in the back here, and these guys are going to be protecting my Bolt Thrower. And yeah, the Bolt Thrower was going to be pretty much Lord sniping duty, any constructs, and yeah, you'll see it does pretty good. So yeah, guys, that's my army. I also have 2 Harpies on each side, and these guys are to tie down any bow and arrows and any Shopti great bows. They won't beat them, but they'll distract them long enough for my forces to get in there and close the gap. As for my opponent, you can see here, I think, he tried to catch me slipping, and since this guy, pulled that cardinal sin of starting the game right off the bat, I'm glad this didn't work. But, if I wouldn't have been prepared for this would have been really brutal. So what he did is he brought, as you guys can see here, 4 units of Tomb Guard, supported by 2 Skeleton Spearmans on the side here, probably just to deal with any cavalry. But he also has 4 units of Ushopti, and these are just the regular melee ones, and these guys are really mean. I mean, they'll chew through infantry really fast. Especially with the support of the Tomb Guard. He also does have a Archon the Black as his Lord, so he's going to have the Lore of Death. He has Spirit Leech and Fate of Una, which will be really good against my Blackguard. He has a unit of Skeleton Spearmen in the back, probably just to cover his rear from any charges and stuff like that. And his big hitter, the Sphinx of Uset, is that how you say it? The Necrosphinx. So yeah, guys, pretty sneaky, pretty mean, pretty tough armory. If you're not really prepared for this thing will just munch through you if you don't bring a lot of anti-large. So let's go ahead and start the battle and see how it goes. Do we have it started? Yeah, there we go. All right, so right off the bat, guys, I see this, and I'm thinking to myself, like, all right, I brought the perfect build, but I just have to be smart, choose my engagements, make sure that my Blackguard are available to deal with his Sphinx and his Ushopti. So if they get mugged down with, the shaft or whatever, he can come back in there and wreck my back line or wreck my Witch Elves or my Dreadlord. So I have to, be careful I don't get Lord sniped. So right off the bat, as our armies are going to close, you can see he is going to start peeling off his Ushopti, which is a smart move. It's kind of forcing me to have to choose, where I'm going to, dedicate my forces to. I am going to have the Bolt Thrower, just getting some early damage in. And what I did here, guys, is I start individually clicking each unit where I wanted them to go, instead of just doing, the normal attack command. So as you can see here, I had the Bleak Swords going against the Spearmen, Witch Elves going against the Tomb King, and I had these guys trying to zone them out, but instead of chasing them, I'm just going to leave him here just as a little bit of a deterrent. Over here, he is going to cast the Skeleton Warriors just to block my my unit of Blackguard, which is smart. Keeps them, locked down and distracted, so his, main units can do, some work. Over here, the Witch Elves are going to be with the fighting the Tomb Guard, and this is okay for me, guys. This works for me. He is going to get a really good Fate of Yuna on my Blackguard here, and there's nothing I can really do about that. That is unfortunate. He almost did catch my Dark Riders. I had him off the skirmish, but luckily I caught it in time, and I was able to pull them back. And these guys are just going to be focusing, on the Sphinx. He is the big target. So my Lord is focusing on Archon, and the Dark Riders here shortly will be focused on the Sphinx. Over here, guys, you can see that he's just crushing this right side here, and you can see the balance of power was in his favor in the beginning of the battle. With the support of the Ushopti and the Skeletons, it's just a pure numbers thing. It's really hard for my Ushoptis to trade more effectively. Over here, you see the Helibroni. He did start attacking my Dreadlord, but I was able to pull him back. And he is going to start fighting the Blackguard, the Helibroni, supported by the Dark Riders. So this is really good for me. Over here, the Death Hag is trying to chase Archon, but I need to, get her into battle so I can get that minus, 6 melee attack. My Lord, this whole time, as you can see here, guys, is just hitting him, constantly hitting him with arrows and lowering his melee attack. Over here is a really good pick, guys. So I see his Sphinx, and I send my Witch Elves in, and the reason I do this is, as you can see here, to get the Rampage. And once he starts rampages, the Dark Riders with crossbows are just going to start just melting him down. And you guys will see it here, between the Bolt Throwers and the Repeater crossbows. Look how much damage we're doing. So this is, really good for me. Over on this side, he's pretty much winning all of the different flanks here because my units are a little bit outnumbered. But, slowly and surely, my units are a lot more powerful. They're going to last longer. And, at this point, I'm playing for the end game. I'm playing the long game here. Seeing that the Sphinx is getting ready to fall, I'm going to be able to focus. Apologize for the lag there, guys. I'm going to be able to focus on Archon. And you can see throughout the game here, we've just been chipping away. I am going to cast the Arrow of Kronos here, and I'm going to do a little early damage. And what I do is I wait for him to stop moving, which he will be doing here shortly. You guys will see. Yep, he stops moving. I cast the spell, and look at the damage here, guys. Yeah, I mean, that's really good. I love that talent. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just look at the overall battle here. On each side, it's come down to just a few Blackguard and Bleak Swords fighting, half-life Ushoptis. Over on this side, the same thing. My units are outnumbered. Balance of power is still equal, and throughout this whole game, the Bolt Thrower has been able to fire just unheated, undisturbed, and it's really adding up. Over here in the center fight, with my Helibroni, my Blackguard, he did get his summons in. But what I'm doing is I'm sending in my Harpies and just trying to muck up the AI so these guys, won't take that much damage. And the Blackguard supporting him is going to do a lot of damage. Over here you can see the Archon is getting hit by the Bolt Thrower. And it's a perfect little, Lord sniping tool now. He's trying to dodge it. And you guys see here the final kill right here. Bolt Thrower is going to come in. He runs, and boom. Archon the Black is dead. So at this point, guys, it's looking really good for me. I'm getting really happy. He does have this little sizable force right here that's completely surrounded by Blackguard, and there's nothing I can really do about that. I am going to send the Death Hag over there to try to muck him, try to hold him off as long as I can so I can deal with this center pocket here. And, at this point, without his Lord, it's going to be really hard for him to win, especially with the Bolt Throwers here that are just going to be constantly shooting in with that anti-large damage supported by the Dark Riders, and I feel pretty confident, guys. So, yeah, it was a good game. This build, I couldn't have asked for a better build for my opponent to bring. Luckily, this worked as planned. I am going to get a really cool Arrow of Kronos here, guys. It's going to take out 2 of these Ushoptis at the end here. So yeah, so check this out. So I shoot it, and boom, 2 of them get knocked out. So yeah, that was really cool. I like seeing that spell. I'm gonna send the harpies in here to deal with these guys. These guys are out of arrows, so I do rush them into the middle, and I'm just gonna start collapsing my forces. And yeah, you know, getting my routing units back. We've dealt with these guys, and yeah, the little center pocket here. So the druchii are victorious. We do win this. So yeah, that should be end of the game here. He is going to be able to shut the bolt thrower down, but look how much damage he did at this point. So it didn't really matter. And I still have a lord at full health. Still have several blackguard and Hellebroni. So yeah, good game to my opponent, even though you did rush me. And for all you people, when you do play ranked, do me a favor. You know, give your opponent at least 30 seconds or so before you start the game. It's just common, you know, decency. So yeah, for my lord, you know, he was on Archon hunting duty the whole time. The Def Hag did really good, guys. She was on foot, but you saw how that, you know, how she was able to do that anti-infantry bonus and just support, you know, my units by giving them, you know, that debuff to his units. The Blackguard here were the real MVPs. These guys, you know, they saved my butt. The Harpies, they did great too. They were able to distract his units, you know, keep them from attacking me, bought me some time. Bolt Thrower was a good pick. Witch Elves, you know, were able to get through all the shaft. And yeah, overall, I was just really happy with the build. As for my opponent, yeah, you know, I like his build. I feel like that build can be really deadly, especially if you surprise your opponent. But yeah, it worked out for me. So anyways, guys, it's good to see you again. Like I said, I'm on fall break from school, so hopefully I'll be able to get some more videos out. So for all you who stuck around, thanks. All right, see you guys. This is Atticus out.